It was a dark and stormy night, the kind where only fools or the very drunk dared roam the streets of Tortuga. In the rickety tavern known as the Salty Squall, the infamous crew of the Blustery Widow was deep into their nightly debauchery. At the head of the table sat Keelhaul Crowley, his captain's hat tipped at a jaunty angle. He was halfway through a story about outwitting a kraken when he slurred, "And that's how I got this scar," as he pointed to his chin. The crew erupted in drunken laughter, despite the story making absolutely no sense. Bawlish the Brutal leaned back in his chair, grinning. "Aye, Crowley, but did ye really outwit it, or was it just tired of hearing you talk?" The tavern roared with laughter again, Bawlish soaking it all in like the shameless rogue he was. Meanwhile, Scufflenuts, perched precariously on a stool in the corner, strummed his guitar. His fingers danced sloppily over the strings as he crooned an improvised tune about rum and bad decisions. In the background, Edge Sparrow, a shifty, wiry man with a habit of lurking unnoticed, nursed a pint of ale. He smirked as Scufflenuts hit a particularly sour note, but said nothing. Edge always stayed on the periphery, watching, listening, and occasionally snatching someone else's drink when they weren't looking. James Shawshanks, ever the stoic, leaned against the bar with a tankard in hand, surveying the chaos like a weary parent. He didn't play guitar, didn't sing, and certainly didn't partake in Crowley's nonsense, but he stayed loyal to the crew all the same. Outside, the storm raged, and in the swirling mist, a pair of glowing red eyes appeared. Krampus had arrived. He wasn't here for wayward children this time. He was here for something far more alluring, the pirates' legendary stockpile of rum. As the crew laughed, sang, and stumbled about the tavern, Krampus crept through the shadows. His hooves clicked softly against the floorboards as he approached the tavern's rum barrels. He leaned in, sniffed the air, and whispered to himself, "Ah, the nectar of the unholy seas." Gripping a barrel with one clawed hand, Krampus lifted it to his mouth and drank deeply. The fiery liquid coursed through him, and his eyes glowed brighter. Rum-drunk and emboldened, he began raiding the storeroom, quietly hauling away every barrel he could carry. Inside the tavern, Scufflenuts strummed a particularly off-key chord and hiccuped. "Hey, why's it sound quieter in here?" he mumbled. But no one noticed the absence of the barrels. Crowley was busy challenging Bawlish to a belching contest, and Shawshanks was too focused on keeping the others from accidentally setting the place on fire. Edge Sparrow raised an eyebrow at the commotion, but said nothing, content to remain unnoticed in his corner. Meanwhile, Krampus was outside, dragging the last barrel onto a sleigh made of bones and chains. By dawn, the pirates staggered out of the tavern to find the storeroom empty. Crowley blinked at the devastation, his hat askew. "Where's the rum?" he bellowed. Bawlish inspected the scene, scratching his head. It's like a ghost took it all." "A ghost with hooves, maybe," Scufflenuts muttered, strumming a mournful chord. "Or the kraken came back, maybe it's learned to walk." Edge Sparrow, leaning nonchalantly against the door frame, smirked. "Maybe ye lot just drank it all and forgot. Wouldn't be the first time." As the crew argued over the bizarre theft, a distant burp echoed through the morning mist. On a nearby hill, the silhouette of Krampus could just be seen, pulling his sleigh of stolen rum. He raised a barrel in salute, his glowing red eyes burning bright, before disappearing into the fog. "That's it," Crowley shouted, shaking his fist. "We're hunting that beast down. Nobody, and I mean nobody, steals a pirate's rum." The crew swore vengeance that day, but deep down, they all knew they'd never catch the drunken demon. Krampus, now the unofficial king of rum thieves, had outsmarted the infamous crew of the Blustery Widow. And so, the tale of the night Krampus stole the pirates' rum became legend, a ghost story told in taverns across the seas, equal parts terrifying and absurd. But one thing was certain, if you're a pirate, you sleep with one eye open, and your rum locked up tight.